Hey listeners, welcome back to The Dreadful Dialogue, a podcast where we chat about all things horror. And I'm back. I got Paul, I got the husband with me. We're back to finish up our list. We started our 31 days of scary movies that we watch, our dreadful movies. And we did our first 15, and now we're going to finish up with the last 16.
So for part 2 of our watch, did you change up your criteria that you used for choosing your movies?
Not really. I kind of used the same criteria. I just made sure to kind of choose some from different genres or different subgenres that we hadn't really covered yet. I tried to include some of those. What about you?
Well, I took into account that you hated most of the movies I was choosing. So I went to the best source of the best movies, and that is the horror subreddit. So I went to there and let them choose the bad movies and some of the good movies. So we'll see how that turned out.
Yeah. You didn't pick as many ridiculous ones. I think you kind of gave me a break from those. And then towards the end, you kind of, as we got closer to the end of the month, you hit up some more of those.
Yeah, I figured I needed to continue the tradition of the terrible movies.
Terrible movies. All right. So the first movie that I picked was called Don't Breathe, and it was from 2016. This movie was a bit disturbing, I would say. It was dreadful. It was about this group of friends that go around robbing places. One of their fathers is a security person, so he can give them codes to security systems that get into houses. And then, of course, they pick people that are rich. And they go into this guy's house and they think it's going to be easy because he's blind. But, yeah, a whole bunch of creepy stuff happens. And we find out about things that this man has going on in his house. And he is not going to let them take advantage of him.
Yeah, at first you feel bad for the blind guy, right? Because he's like, oh, he's blind. He doesn't know what's going on. People are breaking into his house. And then it slowly unveils that he's a creep and he has people that he has hidden in the basement. And it becomes this whole terror thing about him trying to kill them all. So, yeah, it was a good movie. I liked it.
There's a sequel. Apparently the guy gets some sort of redemption or something. I'm not really sure if I'm interested in hearing about him getting a redemption, but this one was definitely good. Thumbs up?
Thumbs up. Yeah, okay. I give it definitely give it a thumbs up.
Very high on the dreadful scale. It made me feel uncomfortable. But anyway, you picked the next one. You picked 2025 VHS Halloween.
Yeah, so this one was, I think this one actually I just picked because it was like popped up on the watch next. So I'm like, great. Thanks for the suggestion. And
thanks, Shudder.
And so, this one is one of the new ones. We watched a couple of the VHS series, and this one was primarily focused on Halloween, and they had some really good ones, if I recall properly. The one about the candy, that one was good. So basically, it's these guys that said, don't take more than one candy, and it was in a bowl, and I think someone grabbed multiple candies, and they get sucked into the bowl. And you end up seeing that they get turned into the candy that gets put out in this bowl. And so that's why you have some weird shaped, anatomically correct candy. I won't go much into the detail for that, but
don't watch it with your kids.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't watch any of those with your kids. I feel like this whole list, now that I'm thinking through it, like a lot of these are not are way less kid friendly, and a lot of them were way like scarier. They had like a more realistic factor to them. I feel like we picked more sinister ones or more dreadful ones. One of the sequences in there was about this concept where you could go to a photography studio, because I think it's like the 80s, right? So it's like pre-internet and stuff, pre-digital phones, and everybody didn't have a camera in their pocket. You had to get your old VHS recorder, and you could go to like this photography studio and you could make a video of your child, kind of just to document what they look like in case they were to turn up missing. And it became this like dormant memory that popped out of my head. I remember Blockbuster having that, and I feel like even like our schools offered that, like when you had picture day.
I didn't remember it when you brought it up. You're like, yeah, I don't quite remember that they had that, but that could be a traumatically blocked memory anyways.
But so anyway, somebody's
Coming from
doing
the 80s.
something inappropriate with these videos. Like he's figuring out how to like trap the kids and do some really bad things. It was kind of disturbing. Again, like the concept of like this could actually happen versus like, you know, I always say, oh, well, Freddy Krueger's not real and he's not going to get me, but that could really happen. So I liked it though. One of the sequences also kind of gave me Barbarian vibes if you're a fan of that movie. So I liked it.
But it was good overall. Definitely thumbs up for me.
Thumbs up. All right. Again, I was trying to find movies to hit some of the subgenres that we hadn't really covered, and I picked a giallo, and it was from 1970, The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, and I've seen this one on so many lists that it's like one of the ultimate giallos, that it kind of put that on the map, and it was good, but it got slow at times. I mean, most giallos are like kind of like a mystery, like a murder mystery, whodunit. It just got too long at times, I think.
Yeah, I think one of the things is trying to keep interest in it when you have a little 4-year-old running around, trying to make sure that you can actually pay attention to the movie. This one definitely didn't keep my interest as much as some of the other ones. I tried, but it was good. Like it was an interesting storyline. If you want to talk a little bit more about it, but just kind of my comment was that it was definitely, like you said, a slow burn, and it kind of lost my interest.
Yeah. The ending was good. Like it kind of, I liked the way that when they did end it, but there was like one aspect of it that I didn't really, I was like, I don't buy into that. Like I didn't buy into why the killer was doing what they were doing. I bought into like half of it. Like they gave like a twofold reason, and one reason made sense and the other one didn't. But like most giallos is very beautiful. Like, you know, I mean, they're Italian movies. This one was dubbed, so we didn't watch the Italian version, but very beautiful fashion and stuff like that. The next film that Paul picked was for 2024, Haunt Season.
Yeah, so this one was more kind of on the lines of who's killing people and who's going to die next. That's kind of the movies that we tend to gravitate towards to make our bets on who's going to die. But basically the synopsis is that there is a haunted house that is put on by a group, and the people are all wannabe actors or they're theater geeks.
They were calling themselves theater geeks that were trying to make it big.
Yeah, and so they were putting on this production, and I guess they've done it multiple years. And as the movie progresses, these actors are getting killed, and the people going through the haunt are not aware that they're getting actually killed. And then one of the guys actually starts killing the people coming through the haunt. So I thought this one was different, definitely different style. I enjoyed it. Oh yeah, what did we give Giallo?
What did we give The Bird with the Crystal Plumage? I personally give it a thumbs up. If you're not into Giallo, you're not going to really like it. You got to really be a Giallo fan. I'm sure you didn't give it a thumbs up.
I give it a thumbs down or a thumbs mid.
Thumbs mid.
Yeah. Anyways, back to
Haunt. And it's different than, I think there's another one called Haunt that is a similar concept, but not exactly. And when you picked it, I was like, oh, I hope this isn't the same, because there's another one, I think it's called Haunt, that's on Shudder. This is a little more indie and different storyline. In fact, I felt like in this one, they really tried to make you like to really appreciate the different storyline going on with them, because we got to know them and we were hearing like their background story about the different things that they were young adults, the things that they were doing to try to make it in Hollywood or try to make it in theater in some way. So you kind of started to empathize with them. And then like they're getting killed off. So then you felt kind of bad. You felt more bad for them, versus in Haunt, you didn't spend as much time with the characters. They just kind of started getting killed off right away. Yeah. It made me miss being a teenager or being like a young person, because like after they got out of work. Yeah. After they got out of work.
Hang out with your coworkers.
Yeah. Like, you know, that like after work culture. I mean, I worked in a mall, and like that was the thing, like, or if you work retail, you get off like really late. And so your life, your social life doesn't start till like 11 or midnight, peak bar time.
So yeah, I give this one a thumbs up for me.
Yeah, thumbs up. We both kind of mutually picked this one. We've been wanting to watch it, and it came out on streaming, so we were really happy that we got to check it out. It was Weapons from 2025, and another like disturbing, dreadful movie. I don't know.
Especially having a young kid.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this. We seem to have picked like we picked a few on the last list, and on this list, like unbeknownst to us, I think we picked a lot more. Like we picked more that are like affecting kids, and this one definitely involves kids that turn up missing. And Josh Brolin's in it, and he's trying to figure out why they're missing, and I think it's connected to their teacher.
Yeah, because all of the students were missing from this particular teacher's classroom. And so, of course, the community is getting suspicious. They want to get answers from that teacher to figure out what actually occurred. And this lady, the lady who played the teacher, was from the Ozark.
Well, terrible. We should have looked her name up.
Yeah. Anyways,
The blonde girl,
the blonde.
she has a different accent, and she uses a really different accent.
But yeah, no,
in Ozark.
she's very good. She's a good actress, and she did a really good job in this one. But definitely, this movie had a lot of hype behind it. People were saying that it's really good. It taken us a while to watch it, but I think it was definitely worth the wait.
Yeah, it's a good one. I liked it. Thumbs up.
Yeah,
I don't know
thumbs
if I'll
up.
watch it again. Again, like things with abuse and kids and things are hard to watch, but it was an interesting concept for sure. And the lady who plays the crazy aunt, I mean, if you don't know who she is and you Google the movie, you'll, even if you don't know who she is, you've probably seen memes about her. There's people cosplaying as her at conventions and
Yeah.
dressing up as her for Halloween. So it was cool. This next one you picked, and this one really got me. The Coffee Table, 2022.
Yes. So the coffee table, was browsing different streaming services, and this one popped up, and I had picked in the past a couple of different foreign films, and I hadn't actually heard about this one. I didn't start hearing about it till after we watched this. I'm like, well, I'm glad we watched it. But what people had said was that it was one of the most disturbing movies they had ever watched. And again, I hadn't heard about it. I put it on. We started watching this movie, and yes, it is one of the most disturbing movies and it's not that it's horrifying in the way that jump scares or this terrifying creature. It's a horrific situation that occurs. Yeah. And I don't want to give away too much of the plot, but something really bad happens and the guy just kind of panics. He doesn't know what to do. And so he kind of plays along like nothing happens. And it just gets worse and worse and worse because something bad has happened and he has to face up to it eventually. So
yeah, and if you're not watching the video, if you're only listening to the audio, like you see me like shaking my head because this one was rough. I will warn at least again, there's a trigger warning, like child death. I'll kind of leave it at something of that nature. I'm not going to go into details. This is from Spain, and this was like, there's actually a movie we watched not as part of October that was from Spain that was also extremely disturbing. I'm like, what is it? Horror from Spain? It's like, it's got me twice, so I'm scared to watch a third one. There was one about a guy that was like the maintenance guy for an apartment building, and he was breaking into people's into their homes, because they're apartment homes, and doing really disturbing stuff with the people. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Paul, you got me with this one too. Like, this was definitely a dreadful movie for me to watch. It was hard.
Yeah, but it was good. I liked it. It definitely, once I started reading more about it after we watched it, I was like, okay, so it hit people the same way. So
yeah, and the writer said like he wanted to like get people in a different way. He wanted it to be horrific in the sense of like, well, what can really happen to people and how they deal with things and like the horrible feeling you have after. And yeah, this movie could definitely be with the horrible feeling.
Yeah. But thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up. But I will watch it again. Okay. We went to an older one. I picked out from 1986, Witchboard. I'd seen the trailer for this before. I wasn't even sure. I kind of felt like I'd maybe seen it and maybe just didn't remember it, but I wanted to check it out. And it's about like a college group of people, and they get out a Ouija board, or a Ouija board, as they were saying. That's the correct.
Were they college people? I thought they were a little older than that.
Or maybe post-college.
You know, when
they looked really old. You know,
in the 80s, they try to portray 30-year-olds as teenagers. So they could have been in high school.
Actually, they might have been post-college.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about, because the guy was doing construction.
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
had it has that 80s actress from the music videos. Was it Tawny Kitaen?
Tawny Kitaen.
Yeah, Tawny Kitaen was in it. I don't remember any of the other actors in it, but they start playing with this Ouija board, and like anything, young people playing with Ouija boards and partying and doing stuff. Weird things happen. They think they're talking to somebody, but they're actually talking to somebody different, and just the outcomes of that. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. I felt like the trailer was better than the whole movie. It was a bit slow at times. It was entertaining. I'd give it I guess a high mid, not quite a thumbs up.
Yeah, I would give it like a mid thumb to thumbs down, but it's a decent movie to watch. I'm just not gonna give it high praise.
Yeah, it wasn't interesting. I thought it was a cool concept. I just didn't think they executed it as well as I thought.
Yeah.
All right, you pick the next one. Another funny one from 2016, Massacre on Aisle 12.
Yeah, this was a horror comedy that had a group of coworkers. They worked at a hardware it's a hardware store.
Was it a hardware store?
It was a hardware store. And it started out with them kind of being jovial and cracking on each other, making fun of each other's stereotypes. And there was even a place where they would go into the attic and smoke weed and do they're doing even hard drugs, I think at the time. It just got worse and worse as you learned about it. But they end up finding a dead body with a bunch of money. Yeah. And so then they start getting suspicious of each other, and then they slowly start killing each other. And we're trying to figure out who was the next one to die and who ended up with the mastermind behind all of it. And it kind of all breaks down, but a lot of dying in horrific ways with chainsaws and hammers and shotguns and handguns. So it was an okay movie.
Yeah, it's entertaining. It's another one that you don't watch to if you miss any of the important points, there's not a strong storyline. You're not going to miss out on anything. It's another one where I like to say kick back and have a drink, or if you're into smoking, whatever it may be, kind of relax while you're watching it. Definitely, they make fun of a lot of horror movie tropes as well, and they don't they put it in your face that they're making fun of those, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, I would kind of give it a thumbs up just for being the silliness factor. I like horror comedies, so
yeah, I'd give it a thumbs up. It was a fun indie movie. I liked it. So we moved on to 2012. We watched Sinister. And that one stars Ethan Hawke, and he's a true crime writer, and he's tricked his family into moving into a house where there's been previous murders, and he's essentially writing a book and trying to solve the murder. And as he's solving the murder, supernatural type things are happening, and he's looking into historically why it's happening and why it's, even after he moves, it's following his family. And a lot of people have put this on their list as one of the most disturbing horror movies. I didn't think it was as disturbing as people think people claim it to be. It was scary, but I wouldn't call it disturbing. I don't know. What did you think?
I had thought we'd watched this before, but I wasn't sure. But I don't think we did.
Yeah.
But it had a good storyline. It gave me a lot of the Shining characteristics.
Yes,
of course, he wasn't the bad guy, but as things have got progressively worse in the story, and you start seeing all of the bad things happening in the background and what they're seeing. It definitely had that sinister vibe, right? But I would say I would give it a thumbs up, but reluctant.
Yeah.
A reluctant thumbs up.
I think it was way too long. It dragged. At times I was like, okay, let's get to this. It was too long. They could have taken some time out of it to make it more go by a little quicker, because it was a bit of a slow burn as well. Mm-hmm. You picked the next one, The Ugly Stepsister from 2025.
Yeah, this one was a recent one, and I had seen it on one of my lists, and it had that body horror theme behind it that I was reading about, and I thought it was going to be interesting. Kind of, we had a really good body horror movie that came out. What was it, last year?
I don't remember. Well, we wasn't one that came out, but we watched Audition, I think, last year, which was a really good body horror that we hadn't watched. So we were like, oh, we need another one. Because like we said, we're trying to hit all the different genres.
Oh, I was thinking of The Substance.
Oh, I was way out. I thought you were talking about our list. Okay, yeah, The Substance. My bad.
That type of body horror behind it. Well, anyways, back to this movie.
We're going off on a bird watch.
So it's a body horror in that you're seeing the Cinderella story through the perspective of the ugly stepsister. So she's trying to meet the criteria of the prince. So she has corrective surgery for her nose, and it's very barbaric because it's in the old times, and she had to correct her teeth, and she had to correct her posture and how she acted, and then at the end,
thing she does to, I'm not going to say what it is, but the thing that she does to lose weight is wild.
Oh, yes.
The things that she
to
does
lose weight, that was
fit
bad.
into the slipper.
Yes, to fit in the slipper. And that was straight from the Brothers Grimm version, or whoever wrote the original.
Yeah, assuming it was them.
Yeah, I don't think it was. Was it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not an expert on
terrible
that. We're
at this.
terrible. We're not experts on. We always say it's not like 100% facts based on this podcast. We could look it up, but we're not gonna do that right now.
We're 75% facts based.
But yeah, the ugly stepsister. I think it was Danish. It was a Danish movie.
Yes.
But it took place somewhere else, maybe in Norway. I don't know, Scandinavian. But yeah, another great.
I think it was in Norway.
Foreign movie. It has subtitles, but I liked it. I give it a thumbs up. It made me cringe at times. It's so funny that I can watch like somebody like get blown to pieces or somebody like get hacked to pieces. I can watch Terrifier and I'm not cringing, but like the little things that they're doing to this girl to like modify her body, and I was like, oh gosh, like
yeah, poor thing.
I was more like horrified by that than like when Art the Clown is going to town.
Yeah, but yeah, I give this a thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up. All right. We watched the next movie that we watched was from 2013, and it's the WNUF Halloween special. And we had watched this one previously, but we hadn't watched it all the way. We'd only watched like the first 10, 15 minutes. And this is an interesting concept because it's supposed to take place in the 80s, and it's as if you're watching a like broadcasted TV channel, you know, pre-streaming service and internet, and you're watching this broadcast channel and just like
it was like a Halloween special.
Yeah, and they keep piping up like, oh, there's a Halloween special coming up, and we're hearing news anchors, and they had commercials in these commercials. If you are somebody who grew up in the 80s and you watched commercials from that era, you're going to love it. There's like infomercials and silly products that you can buy, and I think
different
like,
restaurants.
Yeah, restaurants and psychics and all these like, I mean, you know, I don't even think the 1-800 psychic number exists anymore. I don't think we can call Cleo anymore. So that was what made it fun, is like you're watching this, and intertwined with that, or interweaved, you're finding out that this news station is going to a house where they believe paranormal activity occurred, and they have two people with them that are the likes of the Warrens. What are the names? Ed and Lorraine. And
they're similar.
Yeah, you could tell that's who they're modeling them after. And there's a cat, and they're gonna go into this house. And as we're watching the commercials, eventually they're like showing us what's going on with this news reporter and these two, and we find out what happened at the house, and some sinister things start to happen to the people. It's more known, I think, like for the commercials than anything, the 80s like nostalgia and vibes, than it is for like the actual paranormal stuff that's going on in this movie. Hopefully I explained that properly.
Yeah, the news report that was supposed to be going into the house where these murders have happened, it was cut in between commercials. Now, to me, at the end, they had too many commercials going on,
it did get
and it cut it a little bit. It cut up the movie too much because you're waiting for what happened next. You know, they would always cut when the big reveal would happen and the commercial would come out, and now you're waiting for the commercial to end to get to the end of the reveal. So that kind of cut it up too much for me. But it was an entertaining story, in that they did have all of these things in the background. It was just a little bit too much for me.
Yeah, it made me like very grateful to live in an era now where like, oh, you could just like you can fast forward through your commercials, or
but
you can
don't fast forward through YouTube commercials.
Yeah,
or Spotify commercials.
Yes, please
on
don't.
This channel.
Yeah, that helps. Yeah, please don't. That helps keep the channel going. You know, please don't do that. You know, I think you got to listen to those. Unfortunately.
Just kidding. We don't get paid for.
We're not there yet. This is just our expensive hobby. All right. You picked the next one, 2022, Bodies.
Yeah, so this one had a lot of, I think, good actors in it. Well, maybe not good actors.
Oh no! I mean, there were a lot of just Lee Pace. It was like probably the most known actors. The
Yeah.
rest I wasn't sure. And then the
Well,
SNL.
they had the Pete Davidson in there, which is kind of funny because they have him right in the beginning, like on the cover of the actual movie, and he ends up dying like pretty quickly in it. So
And we got that wrong. We didn't predict him to die first.
no, yeah, we didn't. We bet on somebody else dying, but yeah. So a group of friends get together to hang out at one of their rich friends' house.
So hurricane party.
It was a hurricane party, that's right. And one of them dies. And now everyone is suspicious of each other, and they end up just slowly killing each other through suspicion.
But don't give the ending away.
Yeah.
It's entertaining.
So at the end, you kind of find out what caused all of this and who was doing all of it. But it was interesting to hear the drama because they were all bickering, even though they were friends, they would all bicker amongst each other about each other. So
It was that whole concept of how like friends, like they're friends, but then as soon as one of them leaves the room, like you badmouth the person. It gave me vibes of that other movie, It's What's Inside.
yeah,
That were like they're again, I'm like post-college age and they're switching bodies and they're at a party, and it's kind of the same concept where it's like you guys are friends, but you also like totally badmouth each other all the time. But yeah, I liked it. It was funny. It was entertaining. It was a cool twist. I don't think it went by quick too. It didn't have any like too much slow down.
yeah. There
time.
wasn't too many slow parts, and it had the girl. That's right. She was from Acolyte,
There you go,
from
yeah.
Star Wars Acolyte. I remember her from being in that one, and that's kind of how I remember choosing it too.
From 2024, the next one that we watched was called Heretic. And this one had Hugh Grant. And he did good. It was so different to see Hugh Grant play a bad guy. I'm so used to seeing him in like romantic movies and like, the sweet guy or the silly guy. But he is a man that two girls come to his house and there are two Mormon girls on a mission, or they're missionaries. And he lets them in and he lets them start talking about their religion. And he basically traps them in the house. And he is trying to turn their religion on them and even show them that like there's no truth in some of the religions, but maybe there's miracles. It's kind of hard to explain without just giving the whole thing away, but it was very interesting concept. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I think exactly what you said regarding Hugh Grant playing a completely different character than what he normally does. So he starts off as being friendly, and then when they start talking religion, you start seeing kind of like a sinister part of them coming up where he's starting to like try to prove them wrong and almost angry at them at some point because of it. And you slowly see that boil up inside of him.
And they got to try to escape. So I'll leave it at that. I don't want to give away. It's got an interesting ending to it. But I'd give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, that's a thumbs up for me too.
And I think did we give Bodies an actual?
No, we didn't.
We're terrible at this. I give Bodies a thumbs up as well.
Yeah, I give that one a thumbs up too.
All right, our next one, we went back into the silly realm of things, and we watched Attack of the Killer Donuts from 2016.
Yeah, we had to choose bad movies, and this was definitely one of the worst movies we have on this list. I can't say that there's many redeeming qualities at all.
The donuts are so funny. I mean, it was not scary at all. Our son found it funny. Our son was watching. Our 4-year-old was like, "Look at the donuts! They're dancing and smiling." And
They're flying around, and
he was asking for donuts the next day, so he was not scared.
yeah. What caused them to become evil?
Something with the workers, like they put something spilled on them or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. Something spilled on them, and then they become evil and start attacking people, and people die.
It's terrible. It's not very good special effects.
Yeah. That's a thumbs down for me.
Yeah, I'd probably give it a thumbs down. The next one we went with was from 2025, and it was Companion. And this one has Jack Quaid, I believe. Is it Jack Quaid? Dennis Quaid's son from The Boys.
Sure.
I think his name is Jack Quaid.
Yeah.
Again, we're terrible at this.
From Scream, the new Scream.
Oh yeah, he's from some of the Scream movies. He's one of the killers in one of the Scream movies.
Wait, you're not supposed to say that.
Too late. I spoiled it. Anyway, so he has a girlfriend that's an AI. She's like a bot, but she doesn't know she's AI. And she ends up being attacked by somebody and she kills the guy. And then like
In self-defense.
he's trying to abuse her. I'll just essay. He's trying to do that to her. And the aftermath of this and finding out that she's an AI bot and what she does to handle what's going on. Again, it's an entertaining one. I thought it was very beautiful as well. Like her outfits. I know, like I'm always talking about the fashion in these movies. I liked her outfits. I just thought she was really cute, the main girl. I wish I knew her name. What did you think of it?
This is an interesting concept. I think I've seen multiple science fiction movies that are similar, where there's a concept of an AI bot, almost like Westworld, where they abuse these robots and eventually they get their revenge and kill all the people. So don't abuse your AI bot. Make sure to thank your AI bots for answering your question. Actually, I read somewhere that you're not supposed to thank your AI
I don't
bots.
know. That's
So,
what one
I
of
don't
my
know.
students was telling me not to do. He's like, don't do that. It's confusing AI. And I'm like, oh
I'm
my
sorry.
gosh.
I'm sorry, Skynet. Please don't kill us all.
Please don't hurt us. But yeah, you summed it up better. How you're like, yeah, they get their revenge. I give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, it's a thumbs up for me.
And the last one, this is one of Paul's picks. Popeye's Revenge from 2025. Not to be confused with the other 2025, Popeye the Slayer Man. Two different ones. So we watched Popeye's Revenge.
Isn't there another one on top of that?
Yeah,
it's like three of them.
There's like three, and I don't know if the other one is also from 2025, but apparently it's become really popular that when some of these older like Disney characters or different studios, intellectual property, when it goes back out into the public domain, that like right away horror movies are jumping on them, right? We've had like Winnie the Pooh.
There's
the
one
Mickey
about
Steamboat
Willie.
Yeah, so this one, apparently Popeye must have gone into the public domain because there's multiple horror movies about it.
Yes, definitely a forgettable movie.
Remember it. I don't remember it. And it was like one of the last ones.
It's Popeye. He grew up as a disfigured kid because he had these weird big arms and his weird head. And as he grew up, bad things happened. And then he's taking his revenge out on the people that made fun of him as a kid.
Kind of Jason Voorhees vibes.
Yeah.
Okay. See, it's coming back to me. Yeah, it wasn't memorable for me, so I'm going to give it a thumbs down.
For the killing people with the anchor and throwing in some spinach, I'm going to give it a mid thumbs from me.
They got a mid because of that. All right. So thinking about the list overall, from our first half, our first video. If you haven't checked out the first video, go check it out. Our other video called 31 Days of Dread, Part 1. Which of those were your favorite movies?
Well, let's see. So of the 31, I would say the ones that I liked are The Blackening. That one was interesting. The Coffee Table, very disturbing, like I said, but it had that unique, different type of horror, of just cringe horror. I don't know. That one, it was good.
It's got me clutching my chest right now.
The Ugly Stepsister, that one was good. The body horror was definitely good. I like Bodies. That one was good. What about you?
I think we have a lot of the same picks. I really like The Blackening. I liked Dangerous Animals. I thought that was a different take on a creature feature. I mean, you're thinking it's the sharks that are going to be bad, but it's really this guy who's bad.
Yeah, I like that one too.
I also really like The Ugly Stepsister. The same, and if I didn't mention, I like the fashion in it, but it made it, the body horror in it was crazy. Bodies was funny. That was an entertaining one. I think those are probably the few that I like the most out of both of our lists.
You didn't like Murder Size?
No, if you didn't watch the first one, there was a whole lot of bad movies. Murder Size. No, the Night
of the Dead Sorority Babes.
No, I think that was the worst. That or Popeye's Revenge are the worst ones. The coffee table was the most
What?
dreadfully disturbing one, I think,
Attack
for
of the
me.
Killer Donuts is the worst.
No, I don't think. I think no.
Of
We'll
the-
agree to disagree. I think Night of the. I need the name again. The Night of the Dead. So we had to pick this up. We had to grab this. Night of the Dead Sorority Babes. I think that was the worst one. And which one did you think was the worst one?
Attack of the Killer Donuts.
So don't
You
watch
know,
those.
so, but of the mainstream ones, Midsummer was good. I definitely like Midsummer. I know you weren't as big as on it as I was.
I think everybody should watch it at least once, though, for sure.
And the other mainstream one was Weapons. That one is a good one. It's a frightening concept, especially having a young kid,
Yeah.
being a parent of a young child. That one is definitely, I think, worth watching.
For sure. Yeah. We also got an opportunity to go to Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood, California. And we've gone before. We had a good time this year. They had 5 different mazes. They had a maze for Art the Clown. They had one for Poltergeist. They had one Friday Night at Freddy's. I'm starting to forget them. The Tres Monstruos, which was like Latin American horror stories. And then, oh man, what was the 5th one? Do you remember?
There's Blumhouse.
Oh, the Blumhouse, the Terror Tram.
Yeah.
Yeah, so really cool. My favorite maze was the Terrifier one, and the 3 monsters were probably my favorite one. But like Poltergeist was really good too.
Yeah, the Poltergeist one was good in that they recreated the house inside. You could tell that it looked almost like the props from the actual movie as you're going room to room. So that was really good, very nostalgic for the original one. Definitely the Terrifier one. It had really explicit, detailed scenes from the multiple Terrifier movies.
Yeah.
And the actors were very into it. Alyse was wearing a Terrifier shirt, and so she got attention from the different actors as we were going through. But that one was definitely good. It was a long line, even for the fast pass or the express lane.
Yeah, because we had the express pass, which we had to pay more for that. So we had like a front of the line pass essentially. And even though we were at the front, we still actually had to wait like 20 minutes, which we've never waited more than 5 minutes before with that pass. So it was definitely the most popular maze.
Yeah, if you can afford to spend the extra money on the express, it's definitely worth it. I mean, it saves you so much time. So you can go through the entire park and do not only the individual mazes, but the different attractions also.
Yeah, you can get on the different rides. Sorry, I'm distracted. One of our little cuties is right here. She doesn't want me to pick her up though. Yeah, but I liked it. So going back to the Terrifier maze, it was funny because we're going through the different rooms, and one of them, if you've seen the movies, you know, Art likes to mess around with feces, and he's written on the wall that Art was here, and he sees me, and he sees my shirt, and he like points at my shirt, and he rubbed his hand on the wall like as if he was taking pieces. He like threw it at me, and I was like giving him the heart. It was a moment. It was hilarious. I was like, yeah, the actor, he was totally like smiling. He's all pointing at my shirt. He's like, that's me. So it was really cool that the actors like get into it that way. We also went to the bar for Chucky. That was fun.
Chucky's
the Chucky's Dive
Bar.
Bar.
Paid a lot of money for a mediocre drink.
Yeah, for the cocktails.
And my brother went also. Shout out to Damien.
Yeah, shout out to brother of the pod. Yeah, but it was cool. The production value is really good on all of them. The 3 Monsters one was cool. If you've listened to our episode about Guatemalan horror stories, a friend of the pod, Anthony, he told some of the stories from his home country, and we actually got to see like some of those stories in this maze. So that was really cool. That one had like some really cool, like disturbing graphic imagery related to the stories, and like the masks and the makeup that the scare actors
the masks
had on
were really good.
Great. And they were walking around in that section of the park. They were really scaring you. Like you were getting startled a lot by the actors from that one. So it was really fun. We try to go to different ones. So if you could check that one out, it's definitely worth going to. We also hit up a smaller park called Castle Park in our area. And that's on a much smaller scale. That's in Riverside, California. So it's definitely a lot cheaper. They only have 3 mazes, but it's way more family friendly, I think.
Yeah, it's designed for little kids. There was a lot of little kids there. They even had these glowing skulls, were they?
Skulls
That
and
showed
bracelets.
that they weren't to be scared or frightened. And I think you put out a couple of shorts on YouTube for Castle Dark and for Halloween Horror
I
Nights.
haven't put out any for Castle Dark. I got to get on that.
Oh,
But yeah, there's a short for.
you need to get on that.
I know. My real job is messing with my fun job. So, but yeah, Castle Park, Riverside, California. That's a fun one. They have one really cool maze though, with the lights off.
Yeah, that was unique. That was a unique maze where they actually gave you a flashlight and you had to use the flashlight to go through the dark areas of the maze. And then the actors could remotely turn off your flashlight. So I don't know if it was like a clapping thing, but they would do it and the lights were out and it's completely pitch black and you can't see anything. And so you're trying to feel your way forward. And
Yeah.
you had to stay together. Otherwise, because there was only one person with a flashlight.
And it got like dark, like pitch dark. Like I think I got like somehow I got behind you guys and I was like, no guys, seriously, I can't tell where I am. Like I was scared I was gonna walk into a wall and then it just started you. I felt like those scare actors, they were in it to win it. They were really like scaring people a lot. And you could tell they're putting in a lot of work because it's a smaller park. It's not a huge theme park. There weren't as many scare actors. So there was kind of like some dead spots where there's nobody scaring you. But when it was time to scare you, they usually got you really good and caught you off guard. So
Yeah.
it's a more affordable option if you're in SoCal and you want to go check something out, or if you kind of want to introduce your family to some stuff. If you have younger ones, because like I said, they have that, like Paul mentioned, they have the concept where you can wear something to indicate like they're a child. Please don't scare them. They warn you in which mazes. Like I think that's the only maze I don't think they could let the kids come in because they weren't able to maintain that. But the other 2 mazes, I think the kids were okay going through. They knew not to scare them specifically. So
Yeah.
well, we hope you guys had a good haunt season. Spooky season's over, but we're going to stay spooky all year long as usual. I hope our dialogue wasn't too dreadful for you guys. And with that, have a good one.